Hey folks, how is everyone today? I hope you are doing well. We're trying that new one topic. Let's keep it under 23 minutes of me flattening my friggin' gums. And for this one, I thought we would take a look at the hard reversal coming from the Dems now. Now you gotta remember, originally their game plan was you need to mail in your ballots. We're going to mail in ballots, and if we mail in ballots, it makes it easier for us to manipulate. And if you watch my older video, I told you that if you could still mail in ballots 9 days after the election, you could easily flood the election, send in 130% of the ballots, invalidate the election, then go to the 12th Amendment, and in the 12th Amendment, each state gets an unblocked vote, one vote per state. And Trump would need 26 to retain the presidency. And then Nancy could sue at SCOTUS because there were only 8 justices, and one of them is Roberts. And, Roberts has, I believe Roberts might have some skeletons in his closet that people have been taking advantage of. The worst example of a rhino, and that includes Paul Ryan, who should be in jail also, allegedly. But now the Democrats are freaking out. It seems like Trump is once again, orange Cheeto Hitler that he is, done an end around on them. Now the Supreme Court did hand down a victory to the Dems, allowing North Carolina, South Carolina, it was one of those, I believe, the ability to accept ballots up to 9 days after the election without signature verification. That's one state, and that's not going to be good enough. Remember, too, the second part of their plan was they would take the battleground states and flip those, like they did for Kristen Cinema here. Go to Razor Fist's Radioholic channel, and he does an excellent breakdown on how all of a sudden, out of the blue, all these little old people who fought in Korea and World War II decided they were going to vote for a communist. Really good video. Razor Fist does know his shit. He's a local boy, though. Pelosi has now said, no, we're not doing mail-in balloting. Remember, Trump stole all the mailboxes that were already slated to be changed out because they needed to be refitted or removed. Trump was blocking people. He was making it harder for people to vote in person. And so because of the corona and everything else, people needed to vote by. Remember, they had that long laundry list of bullshit excuses on why people should not show up at their polling place to vote. Not to mention ballot harvesting, not to mention all the shenanigans we've seen of late. Dumpster ballots, river ballots. Granted, it was a stream or a creek or a crick, but Trump said river, and then he automatically got fact-checked for mostly false because rivers are big, and this wasn't big. Some stupid thing like that. Nancy now says she wants people to show up in person and vote. Show up in person and vote. The enthusiasm gap aside, and I live in Arizona. I'm in Phoenix. I routinely walk Knucklehead, Pima. Every day we're out for, got nothing else going on. We go out for about an hour, put a couple of miles on. She likes to sniff and smell everything. I have seen one Harris Biden bumper sticker. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of COVIDiots driving around with their gloves and mask and their windows up inside their car, which I pretty much automatically count as a Harris Biden vote, because why wouldn't you? Plus, it's a meme that's been going around for a while. It's actually pretty funny. But I don't see the enthusiasm here. Remember, he had that rally here 2 weeks ago that literally no one showed up for. Reporters standing out there in the middle of 19th Avenue. Well, it's awfully quiet here, Jim. Nobody there. No one. And that was one of the announced ones. Oh, that was impromptu. We didn't tell anybody. I told the news. They had to tell somebody. Nobody showed up. But Nancy has now tacked 180 degrees and decided that you must show up and vote en masse in numbers. And to me, that just says there's something wrong. The tangerine tyrant, the Cheeto Hitler, the orange man who is bad. What it says to me is he has outflanked them once again. Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. The majority of their people are terrified because they have gone out of their way to take a disease that it's 99.7 if you're above 65, and if you're below 65, it is a lot less than that. The phrase I heard used was statistically insignificant. The amount of death it causes in the general population is statistically insignificant, which I took to mean you've got just as good a chance of dying from a big blue chunk of airline toilet ice as you do of catching this and dying. But that was their whole card. Now, as we know, Joe has been horrible on the road lately. He's actually woodchucked up and put his head out of his hole and spouted some gibberish that nobody understands, then he jumps back in his hole again. It's killing him. Kamala has less likability than Hillary, and that should be truly frightening for most people on the Democrat side. It seems that where it unraveled is Amy Coney Barrett. Him being able to get her in there, and Nancy should have known he had the votes to get it done. She didn't have anybody to lean on to make it happen. And that screws their whole, well, we'll sue. The problem is, with 5-4 on Trump's side, and theoretically, since the Constitution blatantly says, in the event, each state gets one vote, and the winner of a simple majority becomes the president. That's all. Well, she knows she's SOL because, well, she's got those huge mega blocks like LA and New York and Chicago, these mega hives where the confirmation bias is through the roof, and the sheeple tend to congregate in massive numbers, leading to the ability to have these huge blocks. I think Hillary had 15 states, and Hillary at least had the I have a vagina vote for me vote. Kamala's not getting that, and people are really looking at Joe and saying he's not looking good. So the enthusiasm gap there is killing them. She wants you to vote in person. She doesn't want you to do mail-in balloting because it failed. And she understands that the en bloc vote's not going to be overruled by SCOTUS now. Nancy has literally painted herself into a corner. I see, if you want to invest some money, I would put my dollars behind the Xanax Colada market, because she's going to be hitting the bottle hard, man. 10 minutes, all right. We get out of here at a decent time. I hope I covered everything. If I missed something, feel free to hit me up. New folks, thanks for subbing. Regular folks who come here all the time because you're my people and I love you, thanks for watching and sharing. I will catch you on the next one, which is a really, really nice 10% sour. Which is why I've got the fruity wine glass I've been drinking just 805 out of. Anyway, if there's holes in my story, hit me up. Let me know. Alright, I will catch you on the next one. You, my friends, be safe and have a good one. Skol.